Before you take us behind the burnt orange curtain, I know you've been doing the deep dive on Houston and getting ready for this game. Let me mention the Gregory Gym situation last night, Rod, with the Orange White Scrimmage for Texas basketball, Rodney Terry and company.
That's good.
The thing that really jumps out, and then I read a great story by Joe Cook over at Inside Texas because he was there. Dylan Mitchell, of course, last year was kind of the fifth option. He started every game, but he was on a team loaded with veterans and scorers, and he was just, he got points on dunks and fast breaks and putbacks and things like that. Dylan Mitchell, though, I think is going to become a focal point for Texas this year in their offense. He put his name into the NFL. Remember, he was a five-star kid out of Florida, right? Came in and, again, was kind of not much of an offensive option, just an athletic player as a freshman. Put his name in the draft hopper, went through the evaluation process, and, they said you got to get more physical, you got to work on your jump shot, and become a better all-around player. And last night, at least in the Orange-White scrimmage, 10 points, Rod, 6 rebounds, blocked 3 shots. We know he can jump out of the gym. So keep an eye on Dylan Mitchell. We know Max Asmus has come in from Oral Roberts. He's preseason All-Big 12. Tyrese Hunter has gotten some medication for his cramping issue that he was battling last year. So you feel like Tyrese in his third year in college basketball could be a big-time player for them. We got, Brock Cunningham is back. They've got the other guys who have been added, but the big question is going to be the bigs, the rim protectors, and the guys down low. And last night before the game, Rodney Terry provided an update on Dylan DeSue and Caden Shedrick. Now, Dylan, of course, local product from Pflugerville. He was so good last year down the stretch and into the tournament, then got hurt his foot, right? And he's still been hampered by that nagging foot injury that he suffered last March. And according to Coach Terry, but with both Caden Shedrick, who's the Virginia transfer, big 6'10", guy who can defend the rim on one end, but also wants to improve his offensive game here at Texas. He's the Virginia transfer. He's dealing with the effects of a shoulder injury. And Rodney Terry said for both players, we're playing the long game for those guys. Those guys are a big part of our season. We have a chance to be really, really good with those guys out there. We're going to be good already, but we'll be a lot better if we have both of those guys in the lineup. He said Caden is progressing really well right now. If everything continues on the trend, he's heading to have a chance to play here really soon. As far as DeSue, he says if he's back by December, even into conference play, they'll be good with Dylan DeSue. They're not going to rush him back.
Yeah, no need for that.
So keep an eye on that. Those two guys, this is a pretty high-ceiling basketball team if everybody's healthy because their backcourt is a good mix of dynamic veterans with some youth and some transfers. The front line is anchored by Caden Shedrick, Dylan DeSue, and Dylan Mitchell with nice, they got the kid that transferred in from UTEP, Rod, Zarek Onyema. He's an active big down low.
Cunningham.
Brock Cunningham is still there.
Still there.
Still playing.
Triple OG.
So it's a pretty dang good looking team if they can get those two guys healthy. So keep an eye on that. Just reading through Rodney Terry's lines, I would. Caden Shedrick seems like he's sooner. And a big man with a foot injury, Rod, you don't want to mess around with that, right?
Yeah, you don't. You know how that goes.
Yeah, and if you
that.
And their early season schedule is navigatable, if that's a word, to get you. You need Dylan DeSue for conference play, where you're dealing with Kansas and Houston and Baylor and all these Big 12 loaded
Big 12's a basketball conference. We talking about being a down football conference right now.
It is.
It's going to be an elite basketball conference.
Don't we only play Kansas once this year?
That's right. At Kansas, they don't make a trip here.
That's beautiful.
No trip
But
here.
Houston twice.
Houston twice, home and away for the Cougs.